Hi there, I just want to take a few minutes to talk really about the 5.4 CB1000R tail tidy, because I think it's rather different from a lot of them that are out there. Look, in a nutshell, I've put a thinner rear light in, which means all the mounting hardware for this thing is internal. There's no exterior bracketry from the indicators or on the frame, so it's got a really clean line to it. And one of the other major things I wanted to achieve was to get this number plate as high as possible to reveal as much of this rear tyre as possible, because to me that looks uber cool. So to achieve that, all the mounting hardware is internal. This rear light has got a number plate illumination light in it, which means this number plate can be right up there. It's not lowered with a number plate light down here, which brings it even lower. And the other thing is, this bracket has got different mounting holes. So this here has got a show plate on, in inverted commas. That's a 7x5. And the original Honda reflector that comes off the hugger thing that's originally down here is bolted in those holes there. And if you want to put a road legal 9x7, I think it is, that reflector bolts in here, and then you can get a 9x7 fully road legal number plate on it. So that's happy days. You can ride unmolested by the police. So this is it fitted. Just giving you a quick shot of it on the bike. There's really good photos and that of it on the 5.4 website, or there's been promo in the press, and you can see exactly what that does. And I think it's rather lovely. So they're now available online through the 5.4 shop. So if you want one of these, get online on the website and you can order them now. I've had a few comments asking me, people that are interested in this 5.4 tail tidy for the CB1000R, and it fits, you know, the 2018 to 20 model. It also fits the new 21-22 model, including the black edition. And people are going, oh, is it tricky to fit? Well, look, I'm just going to give you a very quick rundown on how this actually fits. You can see pictures of it online of, you know, the finished item when it's on. I'm not actually bolting it on now, I'm just giving you a quick rundown. Now look, in a nutshell, this is very simple to fit. What you do is you undo these 4 bolts here, roll that plate out the way. There's the cable for the seat lock there. You don't have to disconnect it, just roll it out the way. And then there's 2 bolts here that mount this original Honda rear light. So if you undo those bolts, there are 2 washers each side to put on the top hat spacers to compress the rubbers a bit more, because when I was following Steve Plater down in Bristol doing the filming that you can see online with this bike, I noticed this was just bouncing a little bit. So I put 2 washers in just to stiffen that up a bit, but it is still rubber mounted for the LED rear light. So you get that out of the way, undo the 2 bolts, 2 washers on each top hat spacer. There's a clip under here. When you've got those bolts out, you can lift the light up, release the wiring clip that's in the back here. And then this one comes with a plug and play Honda connector. You don't have to cut it and crimp it and all the rest of it. You literally undo that connector by pressing the tab in, pulling it, and then you can lift this rear light out. You use the original mounting bolts. You need to put 2 nuts on this, because those bolts screw into the light. Obviously these haven't got a captive nut. It's a little bit fiddly getting your fingers in there, but you put that on, 2 bolts in, tighten that up, connect the wire following the original routing down the side here, bolt that plate back on, do the 4 bolts up, and that is that fitted. I then recommend sticking the number plate on with some double-sided tape, which is fantastic now. I don't use bolts anymore. You can do, there's 2 bolt holes in it if you want to. So in a nutshell, you roll that out the way, take the bolts out, bolt that in, connect that up, and it's job done. It's got the reflector holder. The reflector is the standard Honda one that's in this original sort of hugger thing here. And that is that fitted. So look, that is very straightforward. I'd be surprised if you're a good mechanic if it took you more than 15 minutes. Now obviously, once that's on, you have to get this rear hugger thing off. That is a lot more involved than this. It's not difficult. It's just 3 bolts at the back on the hugger, and basically disconnect the wiring by the air box here, and then feed it all through and get it out. Look, I've made that sound like a 5-minute job. It isn't. Just sit in your workshop on a Saturday morning and work your way through. It's not particularly difficult. or if you're not sure, get a mate or a bike shop to remove that for you. But this is standalone. This lights, the number plate, and obviously you've got your brake light and your rear tail light. So this is very straightforward to fit. That's a little bit more involved. I can't help that. That's how Honda have made it. But, you know, obviously I build these for a living and I've got it down to a bit of a fine art. I would say it takes me half an hour to 40 minutes just taking it steady. So there is the unit that goes in there, and I think it transforms the look of the bike.